Corpse, do you want to
Actually,
do the litany?
well, it says medieval fantasy. I mean, the fact that it's everything in the room is Victorian style, because that's very much Gothic revivalist rather than Gothic. Um,
I knew you'd have something to
and
say.
some kind of weird bioorganic vagina mirror over the fireplace.
Well, I'm looking at this. This is also vaguely vaginal.
A little bit, if you squint.
A woman.
Nothing on the shelves. That's unusual. That is genuinely unusual for this kind of artwork.
Yeah. Everything was clean, but still had that old age feel, as if no one had ever set foot in the room until that moment. Rest here for now, when Diana is well again. Could you foreshadow that any more? We can discuss what to do. Thank you.
Thank you, bunny woman.
I nodded to the woman before she gently curtsied and left, closing the door behind her. I took a moment to observe my surrounding, interested in understanding the aesthetic. I'm sure Corpse can explain more about the aesthetic. This was fantasy turned into reality. It was like I had gone back in time.
To a Victorian hotel.
Why, though? Was the demon world really that behind the times, or did magic supersede technology and this was the result?
Then why would it be Gothic? In fact, why is there ecclesiastical inspired architecture and stuff in a demon world? Surely they'd dislike that because it's literally an organization of people who despise them.
Look, this cross, guys, is a Christian symbol. Inverting it, this
the cross of St. Paul, isn't it? Or is it St. Peter?
St. Peter.
No,
I think
because
it's in St. Peter's Basilica.
Yeah,
it's literally behind the Pope wherever he goes in the Vatican.
Well, the idea is he volunteered to be crucified upside down because he didn't believe he deserved to be died the same way Christ did. Which is as a sign of modesty is pretty fucking up there.
Yeah.
It's coming from an atheist. It's kind of that's pretty up there. Yeah. I mean,
although we do know about that story.
Idiot,
we do know about that story, to be fair.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it might not be St. Peter's cross, because as far as I remember, St. Peter was a bit of a
wankstone.
Yeah. I mean,
I can remember. I don't know. I don't know who these fucking people are.
Well, all I remember is that it's in the Vatican. It's pretty much whenever he doesn't dress, that's the cross behind him because religious symbol. Just because it's inverted doesn't mean Satan.
Also, the whole the whole Gothic arch came from vaulted ceilings, which were made to make churches larger and airier.
And they succeeded.
So there's another direct link there to ecclesiastical architecture.
Mm. Oh yeah, no, I was there. I was there already. Don't worry.
The way they've done the faux vaulted ceilings alongside flanking the mirror, that is so fucking Victorian. That is painfully Victorian. That bench is pretty medieval.
Yeah, I had no problem.
That actually does look like more of a it would have probably been I would have said mid medieval period rather than it'd become after the 12th 13th century. I would have thought so, maybe 14th, but
yeah.
But that looks actually medievally.
Well done, game. You got 1 out of 80.
The way they've done those arms, it might actually be 15th.
Yeah, corpse.
And that is a tiny
stuff.
Fireplace is fucking minute, particularly for one with a massive arch built into it.
To be fair,
it's the Roman arch, which is just weird.
Let me just point out, they are in hell.
That is true.
So I don't think
this is my hell. I see.
I see. I can see this being your hell.
It's definitely accurate, Twitch.
Despite the situation which was beyond heartbreaking and terrible, my curiosity began to fester in my mind like leprosy. As if I was given a golden opportunity to learn something new. However, my thoughts began to drift. I felt myself becoming weaker.
Again, she's going to faint already.
If she faints continuously through this, I am going to... I don't know. Cry.
Epilepsy or something?
I don't know. If it's genuine fainting, I mean, narcolepsy is... I mean, narcolepsy is brought on by emotional upheaval as well. But,
Yeah.
She
really should see a doctor about these fainting spells. If they happen as often as they imply.
Well, one of the people who commented last, I think it was one of my patrons, said, actually, I faint. We were like, who faints this much? She goes, I faint this much. Yes, it's a medical condition. So, yeah.
So, yeah.
No doubt from the shock and trauma I had gone through. I stumbled towards the bed, needing to sit down and let everything settle in without passing out.
So why'd you go to the bed? The weirdly blurry covered... The bed with the really blurry cushions and covers.
To be fair, somebody did go a bit nuts with the blur tool there.
Yes.
As my rear hit the mattress, however, I let out a small pleasured...
From your buttocks.
That's called a fart, Ducky.
My buttocks sighed. They often do after spicy food.
That's how I'm going to describe farts. I didn't fart, my bottom side. Holy crap, this is a comfy mattress. I felt myself fall back and enter my entire body simply melted into the softness beneath my...
Wow. Wow.
Oh my god! Okay, visual novel writers, when you go fast past the first translation, give your script to me and let me go through it, because Jesus Christ!
There's an entire industry of professional proofreaders.
I mean, I will do it. I will do it for less than a professional proofreader.
Helps. There's a lot of forums where people will just read stuff for you because they want to get into proofreading, or they're other writers and just are interested in helping other people improve at the same time as it makes them improve.
Yes. But please do something.
I actually know some people who they're professional proofreaders who specialise in erotic fiction because they find it hilarious when it's rubbish.
I mean, most erotic fiction.
but they're paid to read terrible erotic fiction and tell people how bad it is.
That's number one.
They'll sit there in the pub just flicking through it on their phone. Giggling.
I felt myself fall back and my entire body simply melted into the softness beneath my body. Too many bodies.
That one of them's actually got a doctor.
Go on. You need to get this out. I can feel it.
Well, it's someone who has a doctorate in English and is her main way of making money is to read erotic novels and tell people how shit they are.
It was like I was sleeping on a cloud. Was that possible? Demon magic may have something to do with it, but I was certain I was drifting into an almost blissful sleep by just lying on the blankets and mattress. Not caring that I was still in my dress, which is really fucking uncomfortable, by the way, if you're lying down. I closed my eyes and drifted to sleep. I needed the rest, since Diana wouldn't be available for a while anyway.
We still haven't seen the fucking dress.
No. Darkness surrounded my mind, my dreams remaining silent and hushed in the cool and calm black. No nightmares appeared and no sounds were made. I was simply resting, and that was all my body needed.
I slept.
I let my thoughts wander in my subconscious, thinking about what was going to happen now. What will the boys do when they realise I'm gone? What will he do? Absolutely nothing, because he's human. I imagined him finding a way through to the demon world and pulling me back to where I belonged, wrapping me in his arms and swearing to never let me go. I would be relieved and we would be married just as we'd planned. How unrealistic was that? Pretty. I had to be realistic right now. I was stuck, and the only one who seemed to be able to send me back was Diana and her companions, whoever they were. Had tried to trust them whether I liked them or not. Eventually I did rise from my sleep, however, somehow fully refreshed and calm. How could that have been? Did you have a good rest? I turned my head to see Diana at the door, arms crossed, leaning against the door's archway. She had a look of concern and pure curiosity on her face as she awaited my answer. I mean, yeah, you asked me a question. I'll answer it before I ask you a question. Good. A good rest is always important, especially to humans. What about demons? Oh, we rest as well, but it's not sleep like you humans do. We simply rest with our eyes open.
And legs spread.
Why? It's easier to avoid getting killed when your eyes are open. I gulped. Were demons really that paranoid, or were they paranoid for a reason? Diana shook her head and stepped into the room, closing the door behind her. So, we need to find another way to get you back to the human world. It won't be easy, but I believe it can be done by tonight at the latest. Tonight? Really? Diana nodded and crossed her arms again, leaning on one hip. It will take time to get our shadow agents to gather the necessary supplies, but they're not hard to obtain, being that we are in a position of power. You must be lucky. What do you mean?
Well, that's useful.
What? Diana sighed before casting a short spell under her breath. In front of me appeared a floating map, almost like a hologram. It showed an entire world with mountains, plains, forests. No, it doesn't.
No, it
all
just
surrounded
shows
by
a blank tabletop with some cones on it.
sea and water. Diana pointed at a marker that had a purple banner at its tip. It was marked in the centre of some mountain and forest area. It was also the very centre of the map. That's where we currently are, the centre of the abyssal plain.
Wait a minute. Can you go back? Did she plain or plains? I want to see the spelling on
Plains. No.
that. So abyssal plain. So we're in the centre.
Of the grassy abyssal plains.
In the mountain.
In the mountain.
With the woodland.
For those of you who aren't as au fait on spelling as Corpse, for some reason, Corpse not known for his spelling abilities.
Being heavily dyslexic.
Yeah. The
I have a
plain
yellow filter to read things through and everything.
Yeah. Plain is PLANES.
Like a meow.
Yeah. As when you're talking about astral planes, etc., like other dimensions. Plains, the plains is like a grassy field. Well,
flat, grassy stuff.
Yeah, big
it's
grassy.
Very plain, to be honest.
Diana ran her finger in a circle around the marker, showing a perimeter around it. Everything we need from the spell is within this area. It will just take time to gather the materials and prepare it. I nodded, understanding the situation. I was going to hopefully be able to go home tonight, which was better than not going home at all. So, what should I do until then? My suggestion, stay in this room. I can mark this room as off limits so that no demon may enter that would confuse you for an intruder and kill you.
That would be good.
I gulped. I did not want to die. As Diana made the magical table disappear, she shrugged. I, however, cannot stop you from doing whatever you wish to do. Just don't leave the castle. She nodded as she turned to leave. As she stepped out, Diana looked back at me with a reassuring look. We'll get you back to the human world. I promise you that. Finally, she left me alone in the room. I let out a small sigh and looked up at the ceiling. I had to wait until tonight to actually do anything. What was I going to do? Part of me agreed with Diana's suggestion, wanting to stay in the room and be safe in case the guards didn't know who I was and would kill me on sight. My curiosity, however, wouldn't leave me alone and wanted me to explore the castle. I was handed an opportunity to explore a castle in the demon world. Part of me did not want it to go to waste. I was torn on what to do.
I must have a nose around.
She's an idiot. She is an idiot. Explore. There was nowhere...
Rave boxes, Jesus.
There was no way I was letting this chance pass me by. I stood and walked towards the door, opening it a crack and looking around. There was no one in the hall, but there were two directions to go. Which way?
Let's go the right way.
So left then.
Oh.
We're in Demon World.
That's true. It's opposite day in Demon World.
It's opposite day. It's always opposite day in Demon World.
Yep.
The bad things you do are actually good here.
Yay! Murder small child.
I went with left.
Let's burn the orphans. La 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 la.
Closed the door behind me as I exited my room and began to make my way down the left corridor. Everything was definitely medieval style. And I felt a bit small in the...
That sounds like it's slang. Weird.
Like small in the hall, like kids in the hall. In it, bruv, yo.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking. It's some kind of... It's a street slang from the medieval era.
It's not, however. What it is people going, I don't know how words work. Let's put a rhyme in.
Small in the hall.
Small in the hall. It
Could
was
be a
like
term
I
for
was
someone who feels a bit fat. Oh no, not fat, but oh no, yeah,
skinny, super skinny.
yeah.
I always felt like I was in a fairy tale, walking around in a wedding dress. It felt almost dreamlike. You're an idiot.
Surrounded by demons. Oh, it's in a fairy tale. A really fucking scary fairy tale.
A
Might have been
scary
Labyrinth.
tale.
It might have been Labyrinth.
Passages seem long, decorated with wall candles, paintings, and
Candles.
wall
Not just candles, sconces.
No, and random. Oh, I'm reminded of that bit in like Phantom of the Opera,
Oh, with
the
the Jean,
movie with the fucking arm candles.
Jean Cocteau arms.
Yeah, and basically it's just
So,
like this must be dreamlike. Therefore, we'll have the candles following you
you know where
with
that
a
came from?
hand.
You know where that came from and was used well?
Tell me.
What's it called now? Belle à la Bête, the first film adaptation of Beauty and the Beast by Jean Cocteau, which was made in 1946 or 7. It was the first film to come out of post-war France and was basically kind of France putting itself back on the cultural map internationally, having been a little bit shat on for the previous few years.
A little bit.
A smidgen, yes, being mostly on fire.
I think it was less on fire and more kind of,
Occupied and on fire.
occupied and on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can have occupied, you can have on fire, or you can have both. Yay!
Yay. Yeah.
And so the French government just threw money at it, and they had all their best artists and stuff come in. And now the Beast's outfit is amazing for the period, but hasn't aged well.
Uh-huh.
But it's actually still worth seeing if you can get a a subtitled version.
Fair. Decorated with wall candles.
Candles.
Candles for walls. Paintings and random curtains and flowers. It was mystical to see, and a smile.
Just random flowers stuck for things.
Random curtains. Why is there a curtain there? It's a bit of wool.
Does she not know what a tapestry is?
I mean,
I'm guessing it's that.
I'm guessing it's probably that, but I can imagine the people who have looked at these things. Why is there this curtain here? I don't think it's her being dim.
Yeah.
I think that's just like a general... Does it have a name? It's a curtain! Okay.
It's obviously a curtain. It's made of fabric. It's hanging off a rail.
It was mystical to see, and I smiled. As I approached another fork in the wall, however, I sighed.
I was at the cafeteria.
Really, however does anyone find their way around? What with a long corridor with one turn at the end?
It's only a castle. She hasn't even said it's a particularly big castle.
No. I looked back, knowing I hadn't walked far away from my room. I could turn back. Yet.
Let's go left again. I want to see if we end up going in just a square.
I was headed left anyway. Might as well make another left. Turned left once more and headed down the hall, greeted by more fantastical decor.
Like curtains and flowers.
And shit. Oh, hang on. I can hear swords.
Squads?
Swords! Oh, it's so entertaining when kids learn the spelling of sword for the first time.
Sword?
They always, I'm going to write sword. You mean sword. Sword! Okay, you do you. So long as you're spelling it correctly, it's fine.
You only get marked on the spelling. It's fine. You can pronounce it bums for all I care.
Well, no, actually, because one of the national curriculum guidelines is that they must be able to read out loud what they've written as a way to show comprehension.
Okay.
It is an assessment criteria.
They still say bums. As long as it's explained that, yeah, they literally have decided to pronounce it bums.
No. Unfortunately, if
they clash
decide...
their bums together in combat.
I would pay
they
to
drew
see
their
that.
bums.
I would pay to see
and
that.
And brandished them threateningly. Look at my butt! There is actually an anime about ass fighting.
Forsooth, look at her butt. It is so big.
It's a
verily doth blot out the sun with its fortitude.
Okay.
Sound of heated battle caught my attention. I quickly rushed over to see a door, barely open a crack, and behind it echoed the sound of clashing swords. Ha! I'm assuming.
Diana,
look, curtains!
Yeah, definitely curtains, look. And it's curtains everywhere except the windows, which is mildly amusing. And this is extremely medieval. Yes, it's definitely not a later period thing that just happens to have wood in it.
I peeked in to see Diana and the guard that was with her
Hello, I'm the guard.
Guard man.
Must be a hole in his jacket as well, because this strap goes inside his coat and comes back over the shoulder.
I didn't notice that.
Which must just be slightly awkward to put on. It looks like extra armour over the heart, kind of, well, as an idea.
No, the heart isn't there.
I know, but people often show it as that because of reasons. So, and think about the source. I mean, there's that open wound in his chest. It's good. Not going to protect this.
Don't need this anymore.
Just kidney punch him in the infected side. I should do it.
Peeked in to see Diana and the guard that was with her before in an intense sword fight. Now that I could take a closer look, the man was extremely handsome and looked human.
Elf.
Yet I could sense that he was very much a demon just from his presence alone.
Weird pointy ears and the whole demon thing going on.
Man,
yellow eyes and the ability to make spears disappear and appear at will.
The man had the upper hand, but it was easy to tell that he was holding back slightly by letting Diana swing her sword again and again at him before attacking her and forcing her to defend. The look on Diana's face showed pure concentration and almost anger as her sword clashed with his.
Fucking hate spears.
Fucking spears. I'd never seen Diana this intense before, so to see stress and determination written across her expression was a surprise. Why was she fighting with a sword, though? She had demon magic. No, she doesn't. Not Diana. You're holding back. Enough! Diana jumped back from the man, bringing her sword to her side as the man did the same in perfect sync. She growled before tossing the weapon to him, and he caught it by the hilt with ease. I told you not to hold back. Didn't you hear me? The man stared
That's not how training works.
The man stared at Diana before gently bringing the swords together and making them vanish into a soft black mist. He began to walk towards her as she turned around and crossed her arms, like a petulant child. Don't treat me like you're training a child, Sayero. Sayero. I need to be ready for whatever the Demon Lord throws my way, and you holding back is only a hindrance to me.
I apologise, milady. Dos Fedora.
Empty words. I clicked. They were training.
My God, that took long enough.
You're not wrong. You're just not.
Why then this training hall trying to kill each other with practice swords?
I'm special.
I don't understand. Look at the wall candles and the curtains. They're so random.
This man was her trainer and she was being treated like a novice. Why? Also, he did apologise. Why was she being so harsh about it? Maybe it was a mistake.
She's an asshole.
Succubus. Diana let out a sigh and walked to the balcony of the room, laying her hands on the railing and leaning over her arms. As each day goes by, my kingdom, my army, and I are constantly at risk. If I cannot defend myself when my energy runs out, then how will I defend this kingdom? Well,
now the army you mentioned. Just to say.
You're not wrong.
You will be victorious.
I'll be slaughtered because your inability to train me properly, dumbass!
Bum fez. You know why I cannot, and yet you still demand it of me. I cannot bring myself to even potentially harm you. Well, you're a bit of a crap trainer then in that, if you can't possibly hurt them.
And that will lead to my death. What was Sayero talking about? Oh, we know his name. He said it once and we've remembered it. That's not how it works for me at all.
Nope, not at all.
It's just sort of like, this is Tommy, Sally and Jill. All right, wonderful. Did you have names? I can't remember.
This is Nathaniel. Oh, hello. John?
Yeah. Why couldn't he train her properly? Why was she so peeved about it? Couldn't she just get another trainer?
Oh yeah, just sign up on, I don't know, Person Amazon. I mean, it's hell. There's got to be an Amazon that's even worse. So that slavery's the only thing I can think of.
Person Amazon. That's
Yeah.
what you chose for the name. Person Amazon. I mean, it's descriptive. It's just shit.
Yeah, they'd probably have some kind of weird semi-Greek name for it, to be fair.
Slamazon.
Slammers. Yes, that's definitely works.
It's definitely worse, but in a better way.
Slavazon. Or just Athens. There we go.
No, I prefer Slamazon. It's good.
It's like Amazon, but punches people.
Yeah.
You will not die, my lady. I promise you that.
Oh, why not? I cannot.
Because you've never lived.
I cannot trust anyone who says that to me.
But you know it. You know that it's true. I'll repeat my promise over and over again until you accept it. You have a very strange relationship.
That promise comes out of a lie. I watched as Sierra walked over to Deanna and gently wrapped his arms around her from behind. She didn't resist, but she didn't lean into the embrace either.
I love you is not a lie. As it.
Sour. Sour. You do not have permission to use my name.
Hey. What's the spelling again?
Huh?
What's the spelling again?
Oh, hang on. Izaur.
Yeah, spelling. I can't see it. So.
E-Z... Well, I just turned it back. E-Z-A-E-U-R.
Yeah, but I'm in a different screen. So.
How are you in a different screen? You're sharing
window.
my screen.
A different window, so I can look it up on Google.
Oh, E-Z-A-E-U-R. Bloody hell. We're live Googling. Sorry, what?
E-U-R. Okay.
E-Z-A-E-U-R.
Yeah, well, she's the only one who comes up, so it's bullshit.
It's bullshititis! Whoa!
Yeah, it's a bullshit name we can ignore. Okay.
Ezza! That's a new name.
I was thinking because it gave the impression of being possibly an Old Testament angel-y name.
Possibly, yeah.
You know, it's one of the better It's one of the better names they come up with, rather than "Hello, I'm a demon and my name's James." You know.
Jimmy Joe Jim Bob, the demon. To be fair, that would be like a supernatural type demon.
Yeah.
I'm Jilly Billy Joe Jim Bob.
As opposed to Skippy, which is more of a Buffy.
It's more of a bush kangaroo, as far as I'm concerned.
I need to be excused, so we might have to take a short break here.
Oh no!